This episode is not FDA approved and may cause sudden awareness, unintended laughter, and long term side eye toward federal agencies. If you feel a raid coming on, please exit the suburb immediately. This jingle may sound like it leaked from somewhere deeply unprofessional, and it absolutely did. I'm still going to sing it. All dry mouth sounds are delivered to you by a mushroom gummy taken and forgotten an hour ago. This is called Ice Pussies in the Streets. Ice kicks doors like it's war on the poor. Clipboards out. Can't spell warrants no more. Flag on the sleeve. Pride in the mess. They raid first. Redact the rest. Big boots. Small dicks. Fake law. Real tricks. High on fear. Low on facts. Little men with state contracts. They arrested a mirror by mistake. Claimed it confessed for freedom's sake. 6 agents, 1 microwave. But the fridge looked undocumented, so pretty brave. Big boots, small dicks, fake law, real tricks. High on fear, low on facts, little men with state contracts. ICE, America's most expensive anxiety disorder. Side effects may include accidental deportations, chronic constitutional violations, inflated budgets, impulsive door kicking, loss of moral clarity, unnecessary zip ties, and by the way, some of them are women. Turns out you can lean in and still kick a toddler's toy across the floor. Use of ICE may result in irreversible public shame. Ask your therapist if fascism is right for you. Oh, I feel so much better. It was either this or screaming it into a pillow, and I still might scream into a pillow, but it's been like such a long, long, long time since I have screamed into a pillow. And I have a lot of anger, and I'm trying to redirect it in like healthier ways. So I don't know if this counts as one of them, but sure make me feel a little bit better. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This country fucking blows. This is so shitty. Oh, I'm so disgusted. Sorry. Like I tried to do good the last couple episodes, I think, but my like uh what was I gonna say? This is just gross. What is happening here? And it just gets worse every day. I repeat myself every time I fucking bitch about this shit, but like it is getting more and more cruel. Like, oh my God, Mary Trump has it right when she says there's no such thing as worst, it's only worse. Because that's how it feels. And it's like, um, I think back like, a year ago, maybe like a month into Evil Dick's reign. And re- remember like when he was talking about, I'm going to close the education department and I'm going to close down this, that, this, that, this, that. You don't get funding. You don't get funding. Blah, 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 blah. You're getting lawsuits. Like, my mouth dropped at all of that. And I was like, wow. And like, I don't know if anybody else was like this, but like, I don't know. I guess I had no idea that this is what the country was going to look like several months later, a year later into his reign. And back then, I'm like, I can't like the shit that happened a year ago that he was shutting shit down and all that. I thought that was shocking. It seems like almost nothing compared to people getting beaten and killed. And I'm not saying that that stuff isn't important. Of course it is. But like, I remember being shocked back then, like, oh my God, I can't believe this college, like, just fucking kissed his ass and did that. And nowhere in my thinking did I imagine that it would actually get to this point where somebody's getting, not somebody, many people are getting injured, uh, killed, uh, they call this, and I catch clips from when they show clips from like I guess they call it corporate media. Uh, they call like Rachel Maddow. I'm pretty disappointed in. Like I'll still watch or listen to her, once a week whenever she comes out with shit. But like even she is calling what are actually concentration camps in this country prison encampments. There's a huge difference in fucking wording, and I'm sorry, but prison encampments to me, doesn't even cover it. Like, have you guys heard about the shit that's happening in these fucking concentration camps? Like, what the actual fuck? And it's not good that, like, where are they? Where is this in the news? Like, why aren't I hearing about this on like a daily basis? Like, there's there's unspeakable shit going on in those places. Like, this is like America. And then, like, to top it all off, Evil Dick goes to Davos and is like, hey, everybody, let's, like, see how mentally ill I can look like today. Yay! Yay! Look at me. I'm ill. I'm unwell. Fuck you all. I'm taking your land. What the actual fuck? And what does this say about all the dumb fucking people? Sorry if you're reformed. I'm sorry. If you're reformed, you made a mistake, and now you're taking ownership. You get a pass, okay? Because people do fuck up and make mistakes. But for all the other ones that still think this way, still support him, what the actual fuck? Where did this breed come from of people that are just all implanted with like a cruelty switch or something, and it just never shuts the fuck off? And like, they don't understand what feelings feel like, what empathy feels like, what other people could possibly be going through. Like, I could go on and on and on. Like, fuck these people. Yeah, I'm just getting like, I was doing good for a while. Not good as in like, I feel great, but like, I feel like every so often I just get to like, fuck everything. This is just like, I know years from now, like, this is going to be studied so deeply, like other wars were, other like, you know, what was that? Nazi Germany, like, oh my, sorry, my brain, like, these things in history that make such a ginormous impact, like a generational impact, like they get studied inside and out and looked at from all kinds of different angles. All kinds of crap is going to come to light. And like, this is just kind of sad. And I know other people have already lived through, like, you know, something like this, worse things. I haven't. I just think this is sad. Uh, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, I'm just pissed. Really pissed. Uh, like, I was just watching this one video by this network called Status Quo News, and I like because they're on the ground and they just go and like in real time, or you know, or like shortly after or during something, they're like getting people's statements, like what's going on, what happened to you. And like, look, I know that I was in a cult for 5 years called the military. I didn't know it was a cult. That's how they get you, people. Sorry for all the veterans out there. This is just my opinion. The military was a cult. I am not proud that I served in it. And I'm sorry if this uh like I said, like maybe offends people, but you know, I don't view it the way other veterans maybe view it. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Like, I don't feel proud that I served in the military. Even before this shit, before Evil Dick, I wasn't proud because there's shit goes on in the military too. Like, I didn't have good experiences in the fucking military. And like, you know, with almost 20 years now since I've been out, perspective, looking back, it's like, wow, no, like basic training is just brainwashing. Like, that's what I really think that they turned that word brainwashing into. Let's just call it basic training, you know? We break them down and then we build them up the way that we want them to. And I don't know what the cutoff, I know this is like jumping around, sorry. I know the cutoff age back when I joined the military was 26 years old. I don't know if it's the same or what it is now, but 26 is pretty interesting. Like, you couldn't join if you were any older than that. Maybe the reserves, like maybe, I don't know how that works. But you know, think about it. Because you don't want anybody older than that where their brain is pretty much like it's solidified, you know what I mean? Like, it's grown. It's not like, you know, what do they say? Men in their early 20s, they still have the cerebral cortex forming or some shit, and then women, ours is like, or is it the other way? Oh yeah, ours is formed by the early 20s, men are by like mid 20s. Maybe the science changed on that. I don't fucking know. That's just the last thing I heard on that. Um, so they want to get you before your brains are fully formed. You know, that's how they fucking get you. So, why did I talk about the military? Where did that come from? Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I just like, it's just so disappointing. I'm so disappointed that there's so many people that enjoy doing harm to other people. Like, I know that they existed, but this plentiful to the point that, like, within the actual military, you have like higher ups, like officers, like captains, colonels signing off on this whole bullshit with like Venezuela and Greenland and this and that. They're signing off on it. I know I mentioned this part before, like that should not be happening, but it's interesting for me to think about like the fact that like those people generally are in the military for like years and years, like 15, 20. I know my dad did 26 years before he got out, and he wasn't even an officer. That was just um the higher, well, whatever rank for the non-officer side. But he did 26 years. Like these people, they do decades in the military, and it's just like, wow. So like you've been like this, you're like, have you thought this way your entire 20 something years? Have you like, does this make any sense? Like, where did you go wrong in your life where like you thought that this was a great idea to use your position, to use your status, to use like your supposed, like, I'm putting my life on the line for the military. Like, you sign off on like bullshit like this, and you go to sleep at night and like, you're okay with what this says about you and all the years you served in the military. Like, have you always been like this? Like, it just, I always am wondering, like, what the actual fuck is going on with like people? Like, why? Why do people have to be so cruel and disgusting? Um, anyways, so in lieu of screaming into a pillow, I decided to do a little ditty. Um, and didn't the bridge tone come from Mr. Ed or something? Wasn't that some horse show I stole that from? I didn't know I did, but they're not going to listen to this, so they don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to move on before people tune out in case you're still listening. Do you know what I found out? And not a one of anybody who listened to that episode reached out to me and said, hey, like, espresso doesn't have to be just drinking, drunk. Doesn't have to just be drunk, like straight drink. Oh my God, I need to stop talking soon. I didn't know that like you can pour it into coffee and do all kinds of things with it. And I was thinking to myself, this is so embarrassing. I was like, I don't want to waste these extra pods because I've talked about the espresso machine we got for Christmas from next door. And I'm like, I don't want to waste these because come to find out they're fucking expensive anyways. Like it's like 40 something dollars for a pack of espresso pods. Thank goodness for like cheaper alternatives. So I'm going to be using those, but like I don't want to waste these like expensive things. So I was standing at the counter a couple of nights ago, um, waiting for like because I was having another cup of coffee, and then I was looking at the espresso machine. I was like, I wonder what it would taste like if like I poured like that little 1.75 ounce pot of espresso into this coffee. Like, what would that taste like? And it was amazing. And I thought right then and there that I had invented something. This is so embarrassing. I was like, wow. How has nobody else thought of this? This is like you can do all kinds of things. They doesn't have to be drunk straight. And then I'm like, I go rush to the handy dandy internet and come the fuck to find out. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This shit's been going on for many, many a year. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Because I was like, oh my God, I gotta get a patent or something. Like, I don't know. I wasn't on anything. I think that was like when I only got like 3 hours of sleep that night. Maybe that had something to do with it. But I really thought I invented a new way to drink espresso. So don't tell anybody I said that. Um, I have a cat update. This is about Caesar. So anybody who's been following along knows that Caesar is the anxiety kitty. And when his bestie Hades died, almost 2 years ago now in April, that was it for him. He didn't want any more cat friends. He struggled. And so we've had the kittens for over a year now. And Phil has been working so hard to try to make Caesar his friend. Like, look, it's just the truth. I see them. I'll see all the work he's doing every day when I go to like get the cans of food and, like divvy up, blah, blah, blah. And they're in the kitchen, like waiting for me to finish. And Phil always goes up to Caesar and tries to just sniff around him, mush his head against him. Caesar's wanted nothing to do with them. And then all of a sudden, this was like less than a week ago, I'm seeing Caesar, well, I'll say that after. Um, well, I'll just say it now. Like, sometimes when animal behaviors change, I wonder if that's a sign that they're getting ready to die because, like, prior cats that we've had have made major behavioral changes, like, in good ways a lot of the times, like, in, the weeks or months leading up to their death. So I hope this isn't one of those, but he is an old man and I'll take what I can get. But anyways, all of that to say, he is letting Phil be his friend and Apollo too. Although Apollo's like, hey, I'm cute, I'm lovable. I don't need to put the kind of work in that Phil is. You know this. And I'm sure Caesar understands. Because Phil is a little annoying and he's, comes off pushy sometimes. But anyways, in cat news, this is a win because like this has been continuing every day, night since I have them on like a routine. I even like have their playtime, you know, scheduled. I know that sounds weird, but I do play with them like on unscheduled time when they look like they have lots of energy and they're bored. But for the meantime, they're on the schedule. I play with them for about 45 minutes later on in the evening with their toys and I have them chase things and it's all kinds of fun. And Caesar has been joining the party now. Because Bitchy doesn't, she's like, nah, I'm not doing that. My bones creak. I'm old. I don't want to play anymore. Boring. I'm just going to sit here and judge. And then Caesar would watch and look like he wanted to participate, but never did because the kittens, he didn't want to be near them. Now he is playing just like they are, except he's still got a bit of a wall up. I can just tell. Like, he doesn't want them too close. He doesn't want them, like, he wants to maintain some sort of a distance, but he's on the floor. He's, like, playing with the toys with them. He's letting them rub up against him sometimes. He's letting Phil give him, like, head baths. Oh my God. That's what Phil was doing too. Like, when we were in the kitchen sorry, this is just like, I'm so, like, any cat owners, well, I shouldn't say owners, but you know what I mean? This is big news. Like, Caesar let another cat give him a head bath that lasted for more than a minute and a half. I was timing it. He is just like letting them be his friends now, and I am so proud of him. Oh my God, that makes me so happy too because it means that he maybe is feeling a little less lonely, I hope, like not having any cat friends. So, major breakthrough in cat world. Where am I at with time? Uh-oh. Okay. So I had my second weekly visit with Janice the other day. Wait, yesterday? What's today? Wednesday. It was yesterday. Seems like so long ago. And I had another visit with her. And you know what? I'm going to be looking forward to these because I was able to get stories out of her. And I won't share them because that's not my place to share, like, her stories. But, like, surprisingly, I didn't have to strategize so hard, I guess. Like, she willingly, like, divulged stuff about herself that I didn't know about before. And it was amazing. Amazing. She also like shared some stuff about Nadine. Thank goodness they don't even know what the fuck podcasts are. But like, I don't want to share those because that's a step too far. But like, I'm just gonna say I'm so grateful. I was like eating that shit up because I love hearing stories about people's lives, especially when they're like 70s, 80s. Like, tell me what life was like for you. I don't know, like, and then sometimes the pictures come out. So, like, I'm hoping we'll get to that point, at some point, because I know that bitch has like albums of like photos. Like her mom, Annie, like she didn't throw shit away. She kept everything. She, memorialized lots of stuff. Anyways, so like it was a great visit, except for the first part where I walked in and remember how before I said that like I saw my our book, Alicia, mine's book. I don't know how to talk on Janice's coffee table, and I talked about how I felt with that. Well, I walk in this time. There's fucking two of them. I was like, Janice, why are there two of these on your coffee table? Like, forget the whole, oh my gosh, thank you so much. What a compliment. No, I went to freak out mode. I was like, why do you have two of these here? And the other one was Nadine's. And I was like, well, why is Nadine's here? And Janice is like, well, we would like you to sign both of ours before you get famous. I was like, I'm not getting famous, Janice. And I don't want to sign your books. But she made me, and you don't say no to Janice, you just don't. Uh, so that was really awkward. It was very kind of them, but also very awkward. Like, anyways, I know you probably get it. But so like we're having after we're done with stories, and her house makes certain sounds. It's very quiet over there, like very you can hear everything. And so like her house makes weird sounds when the heat clicks on and this and that. And so one of those sounds was made, and she just told me, oh, that's just what the heater sounds like when it clicks on. Cause I think I must have like looked at like, what's that noise? And then after she said that, she's like, I get so irritated with like Nadine because Nadine's like, that sound is not normal. You need to look into it. Get somebody to come look at that sound that's going on down there. And Janice is like, I know the house sounds. It's always been this way. And she's like, it's hard to explain something like that to somebody who doesn't naturally just pay attention to stuff like that. So, like, just more evidence that I think Janice is autistic. Um, and she is more astute and alert than I thought she was. Like, she knows everything that's going on. Ooh, that bitch is such a good masker. Um, and then also, I know I shared before about how, and I know these are stories, but they're not personal stories. Like lots of people know these things about, like, I'm not the only one she told this to. But anyways, we had a conversation before about how she doesn't like to cook. And I was like, oh, that sounds like an autistic thing. But well, yesterday she went into depth and she uses the microwave a lot. A lot. And she doesn't like to cook. Her mom never taught her. She said that Annie just was always the cook. She always just made the meals, and that's what it was. And Janice is like, I had no interest in it when I got older. And she's like, I have better things to do with my time. Now, come on. If that doesn't sound autistic, like, I've said that before. I've heard other people say something like that. And, also, there's the I don't know how to say this because I need to wrap this up because my brain and my mouth are disconnecting even more so now, but don't lose the thought. The thought's going away. Oh no, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Thought, stay here. Is it there? Yes. Okay, I found the thought. So like, do you know how we like to prepare for things? Anything. It could be like a doctor's appointment that's coming up the next day or something you're doing in a few hours. Well, lots of us like to do this when it comes to food. That's why we have like same foods and stuff like that. Well, I think Janice might have that too because she said that like for example, in the morning her Nadine was like, what do you want for dinner? And Janice is like, I don't think that far ahead, but sure, since you want to talk about it now, let's have pork chops. I'll pull them out of the freezer, let them thaw, and that's what we'll have for dinner later. And Nadine's like, that sounds good. And then throughout the day, Nadine was texting her, like, what else are we going to have with the pork chops? Janice is like, I don't know. So Janice just volunteered a few different things that Nadine's going to be cooking. And then a few hours goes by, Nadine comes over and is like, has a, hey, let's have this for dinner, like a totally different thing, you know? And Janice was like, no. We've been talking about pork chops all day, what we're going to have with them. I've been planning on pork chops. They're out, they're thawed. We're having pork chops. There is no other option for dinner. We didn't talk about that. Like, come on, man. That is some shit that I've done before. Hilarious. Oh, I knew I liked Janice. There was always something about Janice that I couldn't quite put my finger on, and I can't even believe those words just came out of my fucking mouth because I know that's how people have felt about us. I had no idea that she could be touched with autism. I sure hope she got touched with autism. Um, so yeah, I'm like totally looking forward to our Tuesday visits. It's fun. Um, Look at me growing. Oh, I like people again. Only if they're like from a distance or older. I gotta stop talking now. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening. The whole 26 minutes I've been talking about nonsense. But I'm sure there was something autistic in this episode, and that's always what I aim for. So hopefully you related to something. And then uh, okay, that's all I got to say. Bye.